Starting Monday, September 1st, SNAP benefits are changing. So if you currently receive SNAP benefits or you're thinking about applying for benefits in the very near future, you need to watch this video. But look at this right here. It says SNAP rule changes. Work requirements go into effect on Monday. Here's what you need to know. Now, this is something that the Trump administration did in the One Big Beautiful Bill. They made it so able-bodied Americans will actually go back to work, not just staying at home and receiving SNAP benefits and other things. And I understand a lot of people are struggling to get back to work for whatever reason. Some can't work for because of disabilities and things like that. And that's what this program's for. But I want to show you the changes here. Look at this right here. It says, changes to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program brought on by the passage of the Big Beautiful Bill last month are scheduled to go into effect on Monday. It says DHS officials said they are still waiting for information from the federal government on how states must implement the changes. There's a lot of issues right now. Some states don't understand what their role is, and this could actually cause your benefits to be delayed. That's part of the problem. Look at this. It says benefits to recipients will not change without notice from DHS, according to the agency. It says recipients will also have the chance to update their case information. What they are trying to do, and I've talked to many people about this, what some states are on the hook for is they have been letting certain residents skate by without updating any information. They're using the same information, the same income, the same household size, everything from during the pandemic. That has not been updated from certain states. And that's where the Trump administration says, no, we are not going to just allow all these people to receive benefits when many of them have actually gone back to work. Look at this. It says, be on the lookout for more information from DHS. Keep your address and other contact information up to date with DHS and the U.S. Postal Service. But what does this mean? Okay. Well, starting on September 1st, 2025, which is tomorrow, the federal government's rules on how long certain people can receive SNAP benefits are changing. This is why it's turning into an issue. Here you go. It says, under these new federal rules, to keep or become eligible for SNAP benefits, certain people will have to meet SNAP work requirements that include working, volunteering, or participating in an education or training program for at least 20 hours a week or 80 hours each month, and report that you are meeting these work requirements. I've seen so many different TikToks where people are upset. They have to work, volunteer, or go back and do some type of education or training for 80 hours a month. Okay, 20 hours a week. That's not a lot of time. Okay, that's just not a lot of time. And people are upset by that. So, here's who these rules actually apply to. These rules apply to SNAP recipients who are between 18 and 54, do not have children, and are considered physically and mentally able to work. If you are physically and mentally able to work, you don't have children under 18, and you're between the ages of 18 and 54, this applies to you. You have to work 20 hours a week, you have to volunteer for 20 hours a week, or you have to go and get some type of education or training for 20 hours a week, or you don't qualify. Look at this though. Here are some of the work exemptions if you meet these criteria. Living in a SNAP household with a child under the age of 18. Okay? It says being unable to work because of a physical or mental health condition. You're pregnant. You're being needed in the home to care for an ill or disabled person. Receiving or applied for unemployment compensation. Being unable to work because of domestic violence. Participating in a drug or alcohol treatment program. Those who are homeless, living in a shelter or halfway house. Veterans, of any branch of the U.S. Military, regardless of type of discharge, okay, aging out of a foster care system and currently under the age of 25, and being temporarily unemployed and expected to return to work in the next 60 days. So if you are temporarily unemployed, and this is where a lot of people are going to actually hit this, you are temporarily unemployed and you expect to return to work within the next 2 months, 60 days. That's what a lot of people are pretty much expecting. They're going to find a job in the next month or two. What happens when you don't? Okay, that's the concern. And again, I bring all this up because a lot of people are wondering, well, what happens? Are they just going to cut me out of this? Okay, are they going to change things? Are they going to make additional changes? Here's the concern, and this is where many states are going to be on the hook for this, is if the states are allowing certain people to get by and not go and work, not go and take some type of continuing education course, and we're not volunteering, the state is going to be hit with penalties. The federal government's going to stop sending money to those states. Okay, you're going to have to pay more, which means your benefits for everybody could be reduced. So the states have to be cautious as to who receives these benefits. Now, here's the other thing. If you are overpaid, it's going to be on the state to get that money back. That's where things will get tricky, because the federal government, big federal government, got a lot of things going on. A lot of times they miss things, and this goes on and on for years. The state, a little bit smaller, don't have as much stuff going on, which means they're likely going to catch on much quicker. So if you've been taking additional benefits and you really weren't supposed to get them, just be prepared. I've talked to somebody from SNAP, and one of the things that they're saying is they are already looking to try to find fraud, okay, from their specific state. So just be aware, it's happening, it's going to come, and you could potentially have to pay back all this money if they deem that you are actually receiving more benefits than you're supposed to. So we'll see what's going to happen, but again, all this is going to start tomorrow on September 1st, 2025. Some states, just to give you an idea, some states are going to make different changes. For instance, regarding SNAP, certain states are actually going to ban junk food. This means caffeinated beverages. Okay, you can't get sodas, you can't get energy drinks. Okay, you can't get chips, you can't get candy, you can't get junk food. They're going to ban that. Some of which are going to start now, others are going to start on January 1st, others are actually going to start a little bit later. So just understand, there are a lot of changes going on regarding SNAP because the federal government is going to pull out and not going to provide billions and billions of dollars in SNAP benefits to every single state. So we'll see what happens, but that is what we know as of now. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.